friends are just telling me that it's low. But anyways, in one of my first tutorial video, I taught you how to do a peanut butter edit, which is basically this thing, and how to like do it in different ways. Like I think I did this thing, and that one got like 150 views. So I'm gonna make another tutorial video, which one I'm doing today, and I'm gonna be teaching how to do one of the most popular techniques now. It's basically called piece control. A lot of people already know it, but if you don't know it, I'm gonna show you. So piece control is basically where you block someone off. Like you put a cone or a stair in their box, and you block them so they can't go anywhere. So like, I call it piece, like a lot of people call it piece them up or box them. So then you have all the edits around, and one of the piece control was actually invented a long time ago, like in season 4, chapter 1. But it got popular in like chapter 2. So I forgot who made it, but actually I think most of the people know this. Coning like this and doing this is actually piece control. Because then you have all the walls to just do this. And then you go up. You could literally go anywhere and get a free shot on them. That's also considered piece control. But now I'm going to show you the most popular and newer techniques of piece control. So, the basic one, that if you know how to double edit, if you don't know how to double edit, you should just practice double editing. Like, you should try to get that down before you learn piece control. I mean, you can do piece control with single edits, but it would be hard, because if you do like this, they could just, if you only place like one build, they could put a cone and then you can't edit. So I would recommend learning how to do double editing down and double editing up. So I would recommend doing that first before learning how to do piece control. Control is a lot about predictions. Say someone is in a box over here. Oops, okay. Why did I put it? So someone's in a box, right? And they're over here with a cone, and they're not even editing. So maybe if you have good ping, you could try to take the wall. If you take the wall, you have to predict where they're gonna go. So if you're like playing creative and you kind of know this player, which way they usually go, you could put a build there, because it's important to place the wall, because if you don't place the wall, they could just come and place the wall here, so they have protection, you know. But if you place the wall, they can't cover themselves. Then you either do this, or instead of this, you can put a ramp. But it's pretty important to put this cone, because if they break their ramp and put their own ramp, you still have this cone to block them off. So after you do this, you could try to get a shot. And if they're trying to run out against you, just reset the builds. And they're like, they need to go somewhere. So this box is still their edits. So if you predict they're going to go here, you can do this. And then, it's just predictions. They might go out from the back, and that's when you go up here and do, like, I don't know. There's also this thing which is really important. It's called a high wall. So I'm gonna explain the prediction that I did down there earlier. But a high wall is basically like, if someone's building up here, you place a high wall, so this wall is yours. Then you can either edit like this, but then they can edit their stair like this and pump you in the face. So I recommend editing like this, doing a box really quickly around them, resetting, then you have every single edit except for their stair. And if they didn't have a floor, you could just place the floor also. So now that you know what a high wall is, I can go on to explain the next part. So I explained about predicting to the side, but if they edit out from the back, if they edit down from the back from here, then you can jump up and place a floor, or if you have a stair, that's even better, you just run up. So what they might do is they might build up, do some 90s. So I'm gonna imagine them doing 2 90s. But in that time when they're doing 2 90s, you should go up here. And if they're already above you, there's this thing. You can like, if you place your building thing right here, it should be able to build on the other side. I'm not sure if it works. Yeah, or you could just place a stair here, then you could jump up, try to get the timing to cone that. See, I coned him from down here, I got the timing. Or, instead of doing that, what you could do is you're here, right? So what you could do is like put this up here to protect yourself, and then put this up here and stuff, you know, do some double edits, and then this is a form of piece control, one of the most popular ones. But that's what I'm not explaining now. So that's one of the situations. If they're like if your opponent's a quick builder, they can do those quick 90s really quick. They can do those 90s really quickly. But if they're like, you know, average builder, a bit slow builder, then they'll only be able to do, let's say, 190. And then you're over here. And then if you get like blocked off here, I don't know how, but if you do, you can go up here. And then what you can do, if they're over here, right? They're trying to do another 90. But place a wall. If you're really fast at editing and building, you can place a wall. Do that. But personally, on keyboard and mouse, I'm not that fast, so all that I do is this. And then I double edit down. And then, but if you're not confident in your aim, then you shouldn't really do that, because they could be here and they could shoot you. So you have to be confident in your aim to do that type of thing. Okay, so that's already high wall, the basic form of piece control. Also, I think most of you know the mongrel classic piece control, because you're like blocking them from building their own stair, taking their wall so they don't build it, and then editing it. So a mongrel classic, if you already know that, then that's also piece control. So I'm just gonna show some few things that could happen. So I'm gonna say a build fight. Doing 2 90s and you're going up here. I'm just gonna do it in the build fight area here, just to make it easier. So a lot of people start by doing 2 90s and then put a stair. And let's say the other person just does the same thing. 2 90s, then a stair. You should try to get this wall over here. Because if you get this wall, they could jump up. They could like jump up here. Because they're trying to place it also. Then you put this fully pieced up. This is all your build. The floor. Or they could place the floor, but that's not that. Well, you should try to place the floor, because if you don't place the floor before them, they could edit down and just get out of your box. So try to place all of this. Now all of this is yours. You could edit here if you think you have good aim, and you could like do some quite a damage. Or you could edit out and then like go out here, and then you could go from on top. You just have to be creative, you know. Just be creative and find different angles on how to shoot from where. And then you might go here. Okay, so I'm gonna go back up there. I accidentally fell, but so they could end up jumping to this side. So that's when you build here. So if they somehow get this wall, cause um, I don't know, but I might post a video on how to counter piece control. But if they know how to counter piece control, this is gonna be their wall, and then they're gonna edit out, and then you are gonna do this, cause you predicted if your box doesn't work and they get this wall, you should predict which wall they have. If they have both walls, try to predict which way they're gonna go. But if they have one wall, you should predict that way, the wall that they have way. And you edit this full box, and then reset really quickly to make sure they don't shoot you back. Videos online from people who can explain it a bit better than me, because obviously I'm not really the best player here. Like, I'm not that good compared to some of the famous YouTubers. I would recommend pro guides, and maybe and you might know it's Jarian. It's Jarian, also a good tutorial guide person. And then there's also pro guides. So I recommend those two channels. But this was just the basics of piece control. You could practice these basics. So it was the normal form of piece control. High walling. Like you put the wall higher, or if you want to do like really high walling, you could place the wall all the way up there, build up here, and then if they're up here, you could do this. So this is like really high walling. And then the rest was just like predictions. Yeah, like piece control, you can't really explain it. Like you just have to be creative, and you have to like think you have to predict where they're gonna go. You have to be fast to get the builds. You have to go from different angles to shoot them. And yeah, piece control is just about being creative. So this is just the basics to practice. And once you get them down, you can try thinking of your own ways. After, you'll get a hang of it. For a while, if you practice for a while, you'll get a hang of it. And then once you get a hang of it, you can like start making your own ways of piece control, if you can think of any. But there's not really ways, you just gotta predict. So, like I predict they're gonna go here, I'm gonna do this. If they're up here, there's a ramp, I'm gonna do this. And if they go out to the other side, let's say they do a side jump, then I could come to the side, I could cone them, take the wall so they don't place it, and then piece control again. You just have to predict where they're going, see where they're going, and then be creative from there on. So, as I said, this is just the basics. There's much more to piece control. So, I would recommend other channels such as proguides.com or just proguides. And it's Jarian. Those channels help you quite a lot. And